Hey, hey, hey.
Good
What's up?
evening, good
What's
evening,
up?
everybody.
Evening, evening.
How you doing, Deb?
Go on. Hiya. You all right?
Yeah, I think there's a delay again.
Oh, no, it seems like it's okay today.
All right, okay. Well, considering
Yeah,
that, you know,
it's okay.
finally, I'm here. I was on here like from 7 o'clock to make sure things were going and working. You know, so I'm glad. Everybody, hello, everybody. Haley's joining.
Hi,
Welcome,
guys.
welcome to gym time. Let's get the motivation on.
Absolutely. Get your motivation time. So, go ahead then, big bro. Do your disclaimer.
As well, our sister. So good, so
Hiya.
good, so good to see you here. Thank you so much for the
Remember to
support,
share, share,
everybody who
share.
joins
Share
us.
with your friends. Share with your community. Sorry, I just spoke over you.
That's all right. I do the same, don't I?
Yep, yeah.
Yes. So my disclaimer is stay serious, and you'll be good. No, the things that we're sharing with you is to motivate you, to empower you, to give you food for thought, and in the hope that what we say it will enrich your life one way or another. Um, as my sister says rightfully, our experience is what makes us experts in our field. Um, divorcee, crazy stuff that you do as you're growing, and we're still growing. So I won't say take it with a pinch of salt. Take it, try it. If it works, because it doesn't fit for everybody, but you can adapt it. So all we want to do is try and give you food for thought, motivate you, as I said, and hopefully it will help enrich your relationship, marriage, family, you. That's my disclaimer for today.
Yeah, brilliant. So, for all of you guys who have never joined us before, I am Debbie. This is my big brother, Maurice, aka Paul. So, I call him Paul. People call him Maurice, and they call him Paul as well. It depends. It depends on when you've actually met him in his life. So, most of his life, he was being called Paul. Now he prefers to be called Maurice. My name is actually Deborah, but I prefer people to call me Debbie, especially people who know me. I prefer, but I've always been called Debbie. So, it's only a very few people that call me Deborah. Anyway, my disclaimer is this is really a fly on the wall experience. So me and my brother always have these conversations. We don't just have these conversations because we're on here. This is stuff that we talk about
That's
all the
right.
time. So I thought that I'll put that out there for those of you who've never watched us before. It's a fly on the wall experience. We talk about relationships, we talk about life, we talk about our childhood, we talk about everything. And so what we found over the years is that our conversation really enriches each other. We really encourage and inspire each other. And oftentimes we'll get off of the phone or we'll be on the conversation and we'll be like, that was such a good conversation. We should be sharing it with other people. And then we got to a stage where it was like, you know what, we're actually going to do this. We're going to share some of these stuff with people because I've encouraged my brother, he's encouraged me. We've just grown together, not just as brothers and sister, but as individuals in relationships. And we have found that we've all made mistakes. We've corrected each other in love, and we're growing. And so we really wanted to share that with you all to inspire you, motivate you, enrich you, so that you can live a more fulfilled life. And ultimately, as I said, we're growing. And so there are things that you're going to experience and you're going to be like, you know what? I remember they were saying, why don't you try this? Or this is something that they tried. I might as well try this. In life, you've got nothing to lose if you do not try, but everything to gain if you do. So yeah, that's my disclaimer. It's not really a disclaimer today because I didn't really say anything, like I didn't say anything that isn't true or anything like that. But yeah, so we just really like to put it out there because we're not trying to say to you, this is the way. we're saying this is our way, this is how it's helped us, this is how it's enriched us. And so you might pick up some nuggets, you know, eat the meat, throw away the bones, you know.
Well, if
So
it's nuggets, then it's just meat
it depends
and
what
batter.
nuggets they are, though. It depends what nuggets they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So yeah.
Faye,
Are you
sorry,
gonna...
Faye, yes, Paul. Yeah. The funny thing, what you said, Debbie, sorry, is that in South, I think in South London, there's only
South?
2. Yeah, in South, or in South, because I'm now in North of England, to put it out there, not North London. There's only 2 people, I think, if I remember, in South London that actually call me Maurice. Everybody
wow.
knows me in South as Paul. Up North, nobody knows me as Paul.
Do
You
you know
I think
why?
I spent-
You're trying to be one undercover brother, innit?
yeah, right, okay. There's no
Trying to be one
comeback.
undercover brother.
Yeah,
Dash
right.
way the Paul. That's for South London. Now I'm up north.
Yeah,
Nobody can track me
right.
down, innit?
You see, what it will be is people will be calling me in South, say Paul, and I just carry on going, you know, and it would be like, Paul, don't you remember me? So my name's Maurice. Huh?
Right. My name's
Yeah,
Maurice.
look. My name's Maurice. I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, sorry, you look like this brother that we. Yeah, I have to change my accent as well.
Exactly. When you're up north, the accent changes, the name,
No, it doesn't.
everything.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This is me through and through, South. Yeah, yay.
Absolutely.
Oh,
you
you
just
South
froze.
Londoners.
You just
Oh,
froze. You just froze like this.
That's good.
Okay,
Yeah,
go
so-
ahead and share the topic, what we're talking about today.
Okay.
And you can share why you thought this topic, because this was a topic that you came up with. It was a conversation we was having, but then you kind of solidified it with the topic, and I think it's a good topic. That's why I went along with it. So maybe you can.
Well, I would have beaten you up if you didn't. You know, I'm allowed to beat my sister up. No other women. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
My husband's in the room and he just scowled. He just was.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry about that. No, I was searching in myself for a subject matter, and you know, all the that actually came first. You know, the actual words to that. But I thought, yeah. Then I thought, no. It's a bit one of those ones. I need a little bit more, not just background, but thinking on it. And then I've looked at all these other things. You know, I was doing a list, going through these things, and it came back to it again. And so because it came back to it, I know that this had to be a subject. Yeah. Debbie worded it differently to what I would have done, or what I said originally, but as we always bounce off one another, she found the words. Is it okay to lie in a relationship? And the caption on the end is, well, that depends. And I'd like you to start and elaborate on, well, that depends as well. Or shall we look at the definition of the word lie?
Yeah, let's look at the definition. You got it right there, because we all know what a lie is, isn't it? We all know what a lie is.
We all know what a
people
lie is.
say white lies. You know, a little white lie. You know, I just told a little white lie.
And I never understand what that is. Yeah,
just like the white witch.
Maybe they mean that it's not a heavy lie, and that's where
absolutely that's what they mean.
As opposed to light, it's just light. It's not so much of a lie. It's just a little white lie.
It's harmless.
Yeah.
It's a harmless lie. So you know what, it's quite funny, because when I was thinking about this subject, I was thinking, actually I read something that was actually talking about all of us, we all lie, in it. So if we was going to take it from a biblical standpoint, the Bible says all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Yeah. So we all know that all of us don't meet the mark. We all fall
Yep.
short of being righteous, you know, and
That's
doing
right.
everything that is right and being perfect. But the question is it okay to lie in the relationship? So I would think that this is intentional, you know,
Mhm.
because you have to intentionally lie unless there is something genuinely wrong with you where you just lie and you just, you know, I would just say that there's something psychological wrong there. But you know, you have to intentionally lie. And then I was thinking about some of the things that people do in their workplace, you know, in order to get off with things. And I think that it can become quite habitual to the point that you do it on a day-to-day basis or week-to-week basis, and then it can spill over into your relationship. And that's why I thought that the subject was quite good, because if you have gotten into a pattern of lying, you know, in any area of your life, I can guarantee you that is going to spill over into your relationship, period.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, within a relationship, I'm not saying like in your workplace with your boss and that, like that is okay, but in your relationship with your partner, if that lie is found out, the damage that it does is sometimes irretrievable. Sometimes you're
Yeah.
not able to do it. And then what stops you from doing a little white lie to doing a big lie? What actually stops you? Because if you get away with the little, I believe that people graduate in it and
Absolutely.
they start,
Because
they
you feel
start.
like I got away with it now, and the person's none the wiser. So if I do this as well, none the wiser. But I think that lies is like a wet paper bag. Yeah. You keep putting stuff in there, keep putting it in there. Eventually, the bottom will fall out. You know, and all
A
of a
wet
sudden it's
paper bag, a wet paper bag, or a paper bag that you put stuff in that is wet.
paper bag, wet. I say wet. Or you could just say a paper bag, and it's just too heavy.
Mm-hmm,
After a while, it's too heavy. The bottom will
mm-hmm.
bust open. You know, um, because it's stored up. However, we will go to what I originally written, and the reason why I'm going to read that, because it's, and this is for everybody out there as well. You know, whether you're looking at this subject after, and you're watching the rewind or
Replay,
the replay. That's the one I was saying. It was like rewind,
rewind.
the replay, or whether you're on here live. Is it okay to lie in a relationship? So, what if telling the truth will hurt or cause an argument with that man, that woman, your family, whatever else? Is it okay to lie then? Is it okay sometimes to not want to hurt people's feelings and then lie? That's how how it hit my head. And do you remember Mummy used to say this thing?
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
what comes
speak
to
the
mind.
truth, yeah, cause it what it will. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes we feel that we're protecting people from being hurt, disappointed, whatever else, so we tell the lie. But don't you know that if it comes out, then you've hurt and disappointed that individual as well.
even
You
with
know,
the white lies, because the thing is, with a small lie that gets found out, do you know that that person is going to be saying, what else have you lied
what
about?
else?
And
Yeah.
you're going to be like, I don't lie about big things. I don't, you know, that's just a simple little thing. Like, for instance, one of the things that I was thinking about, that I used to do was, because you know me, I like to shop and stuff. So I knew that if I was to be spending certain amount of money, I would be like, or buying something more, yeah, I would say, oh, like this is something that a lot of women do, yeah, but we need to check ourselves. I don't do it now, but I did used to. Seriously, I did used to. I don't do it now. Because I just think it's immaterial me doing it now, because if I was to continue doing that, I wouldn't be true to myself. I'd just be lying anyway. But I used to go out, buy myself something, and I'd be like, guess how much I got it for? Guess how much I got it? This time it could be like £20. I'd be like, guess what? Do you know how much I got it for? I got it in a sale. I like paid £10 for it. Ain't that just awesome? This time, if you was to go and look at the receipt would say £20. So even in that, I'm laughing about it, but it is true. And a lot of women do it. A lot of men do it as well. You know, I've known men to do the same thing, where it's just like,
I used to throw away the receipt,
especially when it comes to, you know, like a suit or something. It's just like, oh, I got that reasonable, you know. Well, what's reasonable? And you know that the person's going to be upset if you say, oh, I got it for £1. So you say, no, I got it for like £80.
See, I used to do it, but I never used to do it like that. When they say how much did you spend, I say guess. And when they go higher, if they're higher than the amount that I said, listen, don't carry on with. I don't want anybody to steal these little things. Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah, I was lying. Yeah, don't. When I say this, don't take and use it. You don't want nobody to use this. I'm wondering whether I should say it now. Anyway, so the how much, you know, it cost, and you say guess. So they guess over the amount. You say nope. And when they guess lower, much lower than, you know, you say, does it look like it's that much? Man, how did you know? How did you know? You know, I like a bargain, innit? So in some respects, I indirectly lied, yeah? But I'd throw, as I said, I was saying it over you kind of thing. I used to throw the receipt away because the receipt can't come in the house.
You was going proper, going in.
I was thinking ahead. All of a sudden now, you know, you forget. It's in your trousers or whatever else. The trousers are gonna get washed or whatever. You put it on the side. You forget, or it's in the bag, the plastic bag, because that's where, you know, it was most of the time. The person's using the bag. Take it out. They know that you bought it from there. All of a sudden, they see £350. You told me you got it for £80.
Yeah.
Contention.
Yeah.
Contention.
And like I said, if you've told that lie, guarantee they will be thinking, what else have you lied about? And it's very hard. Like I said, sometimes it's irretrievable. And especially if you do like a multitude of these little lies, you know, like I said, it can become quite habitual. And sometimes the excuse is, I'm doing that so that I don't upset, so that I don't, you know, offend, so I don't cause that person any hurt or any kind of pain. But again, love casts out all fear. So the fear is that that person is not going to be happy with what you have done, what you have said. And so what you do, you lie to cover that up. But if there is true love, from the biblical standpoint, love casts out all fear. So like what my mum used to say, our mum used to say, speak the truth and cause it what it will. And it's the repercussions. It's the what if that person says that. It's better that that person's upset that you spent £20 on that dress or that jacket or whatever than £10, because the lie, I believe, in some respects, sometimes it will just come out, or it can cause you to continue lying about other things. And the worst thing is when you know that you haven't lied about something major and that person brings up something that you've done before, which was a small white lie, and say, yeah, but you lied about that. So how do I know that you're not lying about this? You know, and I think that personally, if you're going to lie in a relationship, then you're going to have to suffer the consequences if that ever comes to the surface. So guys, tell us what you think. Tell us what you think. You're being you're quiet today. Tell us what you think. Maybe there's a scenario or a situation that you know about. Share some of your white lies with us. Yeah, let us hear what you've got to say about the subject.
You're right, Debbie. When someone does lie, and I was going to say, you was talking, and what comes to mind is £20 is that £10 that you said, that lie. Let me say it the other way: the £20, and then you tell them that you overspent, or £50 or £300, whatever the amount is, will last for a moment. Should let me use the word should last for a moment, because that can be something that they say, oh, you just spend so much money. You just spend it and you don't think of this or about we should be thinking about budgeting. We should be thinking about overspending, and we should also think about treating yourself, without a doubt. But the lie can last a lifetime. 2 years later, you're saying, yeah, but they've said a little white lie, or you caught someone out on something, and you say, yeah, but as you said, how do I know, that you've not lied about other things? However, do you remember the time when you did this?
I mean, in relation to somebody bringing up something, we spoke about not so long ago about love again, and the fact that love really keeps no records of wrong. So the person that's bringing up, dredging up stuff from the past, they're equally in the wrong as well, because you're not meant to be bringing that up. If you guys have dealt with that, just bury it, innit? Just done.
I was that person. I was the one that I remembered too many things had happened, and in some respects it was, as much as it was malicious, it was about time, because I'm now trying to navigate myself through this situation and thinking, but they did that then. That could be the same scenario here, whereas I was supposed to leave that where it was. If someone told you this is the reason why I felt like, or I lied, even though they are wrong and they know that they're wrong and they admit that they're wrong, that stays right there. Whether 5 years, 10 years ago, and where you are now, you're dealing with a different situation, because it's not the same situation. And even if it is the same situation, that person will more than likely say, I know it looks like the same thing what I did, because we remember. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I again, like I said, for me personally, I think that there are certain things that you're going to be saying to your partner, and what is going to be eroded is the trust. So even though that thing has been dealt with, even though it's kind of buried, now you have to build back that trust that you've caused. And I think with hindsight, you don't think about it at the time, but with hindsight, if you was to think about the reason why you're going to lie in the first place, let's take the example with the clothing. You're doing it knowing that you shouldn't do it in the first place.
There you go.
Do you get what I'm saying? You're doing it already knowing that you and that person's probably had that conversation about you buying another dress, another pair of shoes, another whatever. And you know that that person is going to be displeased with you because you're now spending more money. So really, you're not even considering that person. You're being quite selfish. And to top it off, you're now going to lie to that person so that you can get your own way. And it goes back to what Mummy used to say as well. My mum's got lots of sayings, by the way. We said that she should actually write a book with sayings.
Oh, she's going to.
But yeah, absolutely. Mina was talking about it on Saturday. What a web we weave when we first plan to deceive. So, it's that weaving of that web that, ends up getting you trapped in it, because you're weaving something. And sometimes people who are liars, sometimes they don't know that they've actually lied. Like, if you was to go back and ask them a certain question, they probably wouldn't even know what they said a week or two ago. you know. And if you're the type, like my head kind of processes things differently, I kind of go in a little bit sometimes, but I will ask an indirect question to get an answer, you know, because if there's something that don't sit right with me, that's what I would do. I would ask an indirect question, or I will go all around the houses to get an answer because something doesn't sit right with me. I think that there's something that you're not telling me. And so I think that having somebody who has betrayed your trust, whether it's in a small way or in a big way, I think it's necessary, you know, if you've experienced what we was talking about before about, you know, you personally being a liar, you ought to look at the reason why you're actually going to do that thing in the
Mm.
first place, because you're trying to cover up something that needs not be covered up. And so remember before I was saying I used to do that. Now the way how I stopped doing it was because I used to buy lots of stuff, and I would go into a store and I'll say, do I actually need that thing? No, you don't actually need that thing. And
Mm.
that actually helped me more than me thinking, oh, do you know what? Let me buy something that's cheaper to fit in with the budget. Do you get what I mean? Instead
Yeah,
of me saying, right,
because you didn't really need it.
no, the question that I
You
would
may have
ask
wanted
myself
it,
is,
but
do I
you,
really need it?
yeah,
Are you going to be going
yeah.
into the store and buying something that you don't even really need? So it totally eradicated me even buying the thing in the first place in order for me to have to lie at the place and say the thing was cheaper. But I know that we're giving a simple analogy. We're doing a something that is quite funny. It's something that people do all the time. But how about something that is a little bit more serious in the sense of betraying someone's trust? Do you have any stories? Because I've got quite a few, because I've got
See,
quite a few friends.
I've got loads of stories. I remember, and until this day, I still don't know what the answer is. I was dating this young lady, and I won't mention her name,
Of course
but
not.
she lived at our house, Debbie.
Why
Yeah.
do you say that?
Um, and
That's easy to work
because no one knows that she lived there. No, no one knows that she lived
I
there
know,
except
but
us.
that's
Yeah.
easy to work out.
Yeah, but that's because I want you to know who I'm talking about, isn't it? And I'd known her for years before, and you know, I dated her, and she went back to her ex-boyfriend, who she was suffering domestic violence with him, and you know, so out of fear, she kind of went back. So now she's with me, and I'm protecting her from him because he was still trying to be around and like that, but no chance. So anyway, one of the days, um, I'd and she told me, I think the day before, it had rained the day before, she told me that the guy, he came up to her workplace and she needed to talk to him, and she went with him and they walked into a particular park, a big park, and apparently he raped her. So she's telling me he raped me. Now, obviously, you know, being the kind of person I am, and I just broke down and cried. I literally got out of her bed and I was in the middle of the room in my boxer shorts crying, because it was like, what? Just the fact of a man forcing himself on a woman, but much less my woman. So that the tears turned to anger, and the anger turned to violence inside of me, you know, rage. So he always turned up, and I'm going to try and break it down so it's not as long. So he used to just drive around the workplace, and we worked quite close to one another as well. So I took her to work, you know, and I'm thinking, etc., etc. So the morning I was walking, and all of a sudden there was a van parked in front, but I saw a car, just a tip of a car, and I wasn't. Just something said stop. So we went to step out in the road. Would you believe he came right up, just round the corner? I was on that side, so he would have licked the two of us down, to tell you the truth, you know. But I would have had the worst of it. Anyway, took her into work, and I'm walking round the corner to where I worked, and I see him, and he's in this art. I'd smile, but it's not funny, but it's funny. So I've gone into the art place. He's looking at some pictures. I call him out, and we're talking, and we're walking down. He's walking to his car now. I then, hi, cuz, I then turned around and obviously I'm confronting him about this situation. He got a bit funny. So I hook him. I punch it. I give him one lick. He didn't know what to do. Then he got in his car. So I've gone off to work and thinking everything's all good. Next thing you know, I get a phone call from said that the police is coming around to my workplace. This time now I'm popping like, oh gosh, oh what? You know, because it's assault. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm in work, I'm gonna lose my job. You know, I worked really good. You know, it was a really good job and I worked hard. You know, it was a department store, a big major one.
What was you
And
doing?
I was pooping. Yeah. I'm not even lying. It was literal. It was literally like, yeah,
Translation, he was farting himself.
yeah. Because I know now I'm gonna be arrested because no matter what I'm saying, the people, they're not gonna believe me. You know, who's gonna believe me? You know, and I actually went to my work, my manager or my managers, and I told them what had happened. And I said, they're more than likely going to arrest me and take me down to the police station. So I don't think I'm going to be here. You know what they said? They said, oh, Merle's knee slapping laugh. They said to me, that's okay. When it's sorted out, let us know. And then there, you know, but don't worry, your job's okay. That was like, what? You know, just a side note, work hard, show how great you are and how valuable you are. Yeah, that they need and want you to be there. That's the side note. Anyway, down the police station, I'm telling the police station, the police officers, everything, because it wasn't the only thing that he did, you know, but this is the shorter version, believe it or not. Next thing you know, I'm telling them about that they raped her. They said that can be a separate case.
Yeah.
But obviously you've been arrested it. Anyway, when she met me, I must have come out. I went there about 9:30. I didn't come out till 7:30. Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. I'm sure I didn't like the food. I don't even think I ate the food. You know, would you like something to eat? No, thank you. I ain't eating that. So when I met up with her, I told her, I said, the police had said that you can make a separate statement. And obviously you've told me that he did this. I had my doubts. However, who am I? She burst into tears. I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? She said, he didn't rape me. You saw me curled up in the room in a ball, crying my eyes out. How hurt I am that someone had done this worst thing, and why? And I'm going to tell you something. I was never the same after that. I was never the same. When she opened her mouth, it was a lie. Yeah, because even though she was living at our house, she was transitioning out of her dad's house, if you know what I mean. And the thing is that some would ask, well, why didn't you end the relationship there? Her mum had died. I knew there was trauma. The family wasn't supportive, and I was trying to still be supportive, irrespective of the lie. But it changed me. I wasn't a nice person after that. You know, how can I be? How can I function still after such a lie? It stays with you. So you have to be careful on what you say and why you say it and the motives of why you're going to do what you're going to do. You know, I'm still work in progress, you know, because I would say that I still have reservations in myself because of those type of traumas.
Those kind of things,
you know,
yeah.
Of wondering if someone's actually really telling me the truth.
Yeah.
You know,
that's why I said, sorry to cut you. That's why I said earlier on that I dissect certain things and I go round to find around the back door to find out whether there is truth. That's what I would do, because something within me was saying this doesn't sit right, especially when, you know, you might have said something a few weeks ago and then you're saying something now and it doesn't kind of add up. You know, I would be like, okay, let me find out. Let me go around the back door. Let me not ask you directly. let me try and figure this out. And that's what I
Mhm.
would do because of the trust issues, you know.
Yeah,
So many
yeah,
times
I
people
heard it. Yeah.
lie, and
Mhm.
it's like, how do you now take this person at face value? But the sad thing about that is that this is a whole new person, whole different
That's right.
relationship, but you bring
That's
over
right.
those things from previous relationships into your new relationship because you haven't dealt with that trauma. You haven't dealt with those
Yeah.
lie issues and the trust, not the lie issues, the lies and the trust issues. And so
Mhm.
that comes over into the relationship. So I wanted
Absolutely.
to ask this question. Sorry to cut you.
No, that's fine.
I wanted to ask this question. What about if you don't tell someone something about you that is fundamental to the relationship? Could that be seen as a lie if you haven't shared the information?
Let me read two definitions,
Go
and I'm
on.
going to answer them. One definition is about lie is to make an untrue statement with intent to deceive. The second
Hmm.
one is to create a false or misleading impression. Yeah. Um, so based upon the second one, yeah, because to create a misleading impression, so someone gets the impression that you're a particular way, or and they believe this to be, you know,
Yeah. And you
you're
haven't corrected them.
and you've not corrected it, you know,
Hmm.
it's a lie. You're deceiving
Yeah,
someone to think that you're a particular way, you know, or
absolutely. The- Go on.
go on.
The reason why I asked that
No, no,
question was
no. I was
because years ago I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and they was in a relationship with a guy. It was a sexual relationship. They 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 the person that they was with had experienced trust issues. The man actually was very honest and said, I've experienced trust issues in my past. And so, consequently, because of the trust issues, he always wanted to wear a condom. Yeah. And so, if you can imagine, where a woman said, I'm not pregnant, I'm using contraception, and so on and so forth, that woman's lied. You've now become, a father when that was not your intention. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me just put it like that, for instance. So anyway, this person was wearing a condom. The relationship was going on for quite some time, a number of years, still wearing a condom. And then eventually he was like, I'm cool. We can just step it up. We can go to the next level. Now, this person had a sexually transmitted disease, and one that stays with you. And basically came to me and asked me what should they do, and I said, tell them, tell them that you've got this, and you guys figure this thing out, and they was just like, yeah, but supposing that they don't want to be with me. Well, they don't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. What are you going to do? And I put it to them like this: if you if this person catches it, which the chances are they will, they're not going to want to be with you.
That's right.
So it's better that they know now, and they can make a conscious decision for themselves whether they want to do this or whether they don't want to. Whether they might just want to continue wearing the condom, right?
Yeah.
So I said that to them. They went away. They didn't say anything. They didn't say what they was going to say. Years later, well, this person, the man got sick several times. Down below, issues going on there. Anyway, long story short, he got it. That person came to me crying, saying that her partner's got it, and she doesn't know what to do. Now, you put yourself in that situation as far as I was concerned. So I didn't say I told you so, because it played out by
Yeah.
itself. But that's why I said about the unspoken words, like you're not speaking it, you're not telling the person what the situation is, But to me, that still is a lie. That still is a
Yeah.
lie, especially when it's something like that. If you had said, you know, this is what the problem is, and I think it's better that we continue wearing the condom, and that person was like, no, 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 you know, let's not do that. You know, they was literally going to have a life together. Everything was
Yeah.
going in that direction, and I was sad because the relationship did break up after a very long time, like 10 years, you know.
Wow.
But there was a lot of trust issues. Like,
hmm
this is somebody's life, it's somebody's health that you're playing with, and you know, there wasn't no truth that was shared there. And so for me, I think that holding back information can be just as bad as you just directly lying. And I remember years ago, I remember being counseled one time, and in my previous marriage, and I remember I was told, this is what I was told, that I'm too honest, that I'm too
mm
honest, and that I'm too forthright, and that I ought not to share everything with my husband, because by you sharing everything is causing issues in the marriage. And I was confused.
Yeah.
I was confused. I was like, how can you tell me not to be truthful? Like,
Yeah.
it blew my mind. I was like, what, me not sharing me, who I am, the essence of who I am, can cause damage to my relationship. Now, fast forward, there are certain things that I know that you ought not to share, because it breeds insecurities.
Insecurities.
It can breed unnecessary contention. It can cause so much issues in your relationship, especially if you talk about previous relationships.
hmm
That can cause issues in your new
Here's a
relationship.
question for you then.
So
Do you, do you,
hold on, it's being wise, you know, in terms of what it is that you're going to share with
mm,
your new partner
mhm,
about your previous relationship. But things like what I was talking about in terms of
yeah,
sexually transmitted disease, that is going to
yeah,
impact that
yeah,
person,
hmm
impact them within your relationship,
hmm
absolutely. But I do believe, at the time when I was told that I was just too forthright, I was too honest and everything, that blew my mind. I was like, ain't that how you're meant to be?
yeah,
And I
yeah,
wouldn't say that I'm not open and honest now, but I choose what I say, and I'm wiser, you know. And there are certain things that I do know that I've probably shared, and it's caused contention down the road. But yeah,
do you
she said
do you
absolutely. Go
think
ahead.
do you think that if the person asks you those questions, then so if they
Yeah,
ask you the question,
if they ask
yeah,
you those questions, I think that you ought to be
yeah,
forthright.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think that you should really hide those things, but I
no,
also think that if you're going to be sharing something, just openly, you have to
yeah,
use wisdom. You have to
I think so
think,
too.
how
Yeah,
does this actually benefit and enrich this
yeah,
relationship?
it, it,
Because if
it,
it's not going to enrich your relationship, if it's not going to bring you together,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
can have
yeah,
the possibility of causing that person to think of you in a completely warped way. Because remember, what
hmm
you share with someone, it goes into that person's mind through their
yeah,
filter, through their upbringing, through their culture,
yes,
through their you
yes,
know, their visuals, their rose-colored glasses, or whatever you want to
hmm
call it. And sometimes it spits out nonsense, like absolute nonsense, like,
yeah,
that was not what I meant, that was not how it was, that was not, because it's going through them, their
yeah,
filters,
yeah,
their mindset.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Here's a question. Here's a good question, or not. I won't say a good question. Here's a question that's asked. I think myself personally, I think when this question's asked, it can be taken that that person's insecure, but it also can be just curiosity because they want to know who the type of person that they're with. How many men or how many women have you slept with?
none of
It's
your
none of your
business.
business. Yeah,
None of
it's
your
none of your.
business.
Yeah, listen.
None of your business.
That's why I said on one
That
side
doesn't
it's
enrich the
yeah,
relationship.
it
It
does
doesn't do
exactly. Yeah,
nothing for the relationship
Nothing
at
for the,
all.
you turn around and
Let me
you
just
say two, they say, oh, right, okay.
let me
Again,
read
what's
what let me just read those, because I think that we're gonna go off into that one. Maurice said, Maurice hit the nail on the head about the second definition of a lie. Millicent said, absolutely, Debs, and that was in relation to what I was saying, about when you're sharing, there's certain things that you need to use wisdom with. Millicent again said, sharing openly, be ready for the outcome. Absolutely. And then she said, oh boy. Yeah. And yeah, I think that was it. Go ahead.
Here's sorry, one more before you go. Go on. OMG. OMG. I told somebody the same thing recently. None of your business.
None of your business.
Yep. Listen. I answered someone one time. Yeah. I was in my 20s. They said, how many women have you slept with? I said, I don't know. They said, more than 10? I said, yeah. They said, okay, more than 20? I said, maybe. So if I said more than 50, would you say more than 50? I said, maybe. They said,
backside.
They said, so what would you really say? I said, I don't know. I didn't sit there counting, I was with, and I was a late starter, I said. And then when I started, I liked it, it was okay. So I liked it. And, some I'm not going to say what I'm going to say there. Yeah. But I liked it, and, with the liking, you get more experience, and the more experience, sometimes it isn't a relationship that you're in,
Yeah.
And, so I enjoyed, as I do today with my wife, making love. That was sex though. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. So I would say I was promiscuous, if you want to say, then I was.
Yeah.
So when they asked me, do you think it was about 100? I said, I don't know, maybe. I didn't know.
Yeah, you weren't counting. You wasn't counting. But the thing is, for some people, if you was to say, I don't know, that is not good enough for some people. They want to know. But that could really clearly be your answer. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that it is lots of people. But I think that you as an individual have the right to say, I don't think that this is warranted.
How's this going to benefit us?
It's not going to benefit.
But I've had that conversation later on, Debbie. I've asked that same question when I've said to them, okay, me telling you 10 or me telling you 1,000, how is it going to affect our relationship?
The thing is, as well,
if you're promiscuous, then you might have. Well, if I had a disease, then I would tell you, you know what, I have a disease, or I said, because you shouldn't see the type of person that I am. I'm open, and if you don't, see, that's the whole thing. If you don't want to go any further because you're more interested in how many women that I slept with, then you're not the one I want.
Yeah, but you know what, as well, sometimes people are not asking you because of for the sexual disease side of things. Sometimes people are asking you to find out whether you're experienced or inexperienced.
That
Do you
can
get
be true as well.
Yeah. Because I remember when I said to someone, I've only been in 2 relationships. I've only been in 2 relationships. They was just like, oh, okay. Like, what? That's it. Like, yeah, I've only been in 2 relationships. Okay.
See, men ask for different reasons though.
Automatically, it's like you're inexperienced. So not everybody's asking you because it's like a sexual transmitted disease kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be, something completely different. They're just nosy, just want to be all up in your business, Let me just read these ones. Antonelle said, Debbie, I agree with being upfront about trivial details that can impact a relationship. Millicent said, Not answering. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. She said that I am hollering. And the final one, sorry, where did you disappear to? Switch your one back on. What happened there?
No,
You keep on
I
dropping
moved
out.
the computer.
Right. Rule of thumb, count from pinky and stop at the thumb. I haven't heard that one. Was there one more? Oh, she was laughing. Yeah, so I think that I haven't really heard in the chat what people think about the white lie scenario versus the lie, the big lie, as it were. Do you think that telling a small white lie is okay? Telling a big lie is just a no-go? Do you think that going from a small lie will bring you into the big lie? Share your thoughts with us. What are your thoughts on that matter? So, Paul, the fact of the matter is if you are in a relationship with someone and you say that you love them, I believe that you should, I'm not saying that it's easy, but I think that you should get to a place where everything is just on the table, where you've got no reason to lie, because the lie is the reason why people are ultimately lying is because of fear. Nothing more,
And that
nothing
is
less.
the truth right there.
That's the only reason.
You are, well, I think it's two parts as well. There's that fear, and I think that where people, men or women, because if we talk about infidelity, for instance, yeah, someone who's cheating, they consciously, yeah, know what they're doing. It's not, I don't think that they're fearful in doing that. I just think that they make that decision to tell the lie because they want to do this particular thing. And it's like, if I turn around, if I'm hungry and my wife doesn't sleep with me, or my husband doesn't sleep with me, or I just enjoy sex. I'm going to use me as an example. I was insecure. So I remember that I would say to myself, I'm going to do this thing before they did it to me. Because
That's
I never
fear,
trusted.
though. But that's fear.
Well, it was a trust issue. I didn't.
But that's fear.
wasn't
It's
just.
still
I
rooted
wasn't
in
just
fear
fearful. It
because
wasn't just
you're
fear.
frightened that they're going to do that to you, so you're
But I
doing it
wasn't.
before they do it to
I
you.
see. If you're gonna say it was fear, for me, I was saying and understood that I had a trust issue. Yeah, I didn't trust. And because I didn't trust, I felt that it was okay for me to try to protect myself, if we're going to say fearful, then protect myself from disappointment and hurt. So I made a decision, conscious decision, that that's what I was going to do. And this person, especially that particular person, they were unfaithful to me. When it all came out, I said the same thing. I said, this is what it was. So I grew up with this thing in me constantly, that I on the surface, it looks like I'm trusting, but inwardly, I was never trusting.
Yeah.
I would say, since I've been married to my wife, Catherine, I was able to start dealing with those issues in myself and understood why I was making those decisions back then.
Yeah.
And I've grown so, when I look at me and go a little bit deeper about myself, I've changed so much, with still room for improvement,
Absolutely.
because ultimately I realize that if someone decides to go and do something, I have no control over that, but I have
No
control over
control.
myself. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If I
Yeah.
decide that I want to do that, that's on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not on the person. If they decide to do it, it's not on vice versa, basically.
But you know what? Like I said, for me, it still brings it back to the fear issue. Why people do what they do it because they have a preconceived idea on what that person is going to do or what they're going to say. So if you think that, for instance, somebody is not going to like you because you're not buying the clothes that everybody else has, that's rooted in fear. If you say, oh, do you know what, I'm going to go and steal this so that I could have this jacket so that I can fit in with the crowd, yeah, still rooted in fear, because the fear is that you're going to be rejected. Do you get what I'm saying? If you go and say, I am going to cheat because I think that that person might cheat on me, so I'm going to make sure that I do it before they do, still rooted in fear.
See,
Like,
and I don't think I
yeah,
recognize, you saying it, my justification
was because you didn't
was
trust.
I didn't trust. But it
Yeah,
could be, because I still in myself, I still have that part in me saying that can be interpreted as that there was a fear
yeah,
of being hurt, you know?
absolutely. It
Yeah,
is a
I
fear
don't
of
think I ever
being
looked at
hurt.
it from that perspective
Yeah,
personally.
because for me, when I look at things, like I said, I dissect it, I break it down. Yeah, because there were things that I've done, and I thought, why have you done that, Debbie? You've done that for a reason. Like, if you've lied, if you've done something, I think you've done that for a reason. You said that for a reason, and initially you think, I'm doing it to keep myself from being hurt. Okay, that's fine, but why are you? Because the fear is that you are going to hurt me, so I'm
Yeah,
going to protect myself in whatever way necessary so that you don't do that. So that might mean even me not sharing my heart with you, sharing my
yeah,
thoughts and my feelings with you.
mm,
I'm not going to express myself in that way, because if I do, you might use it against me because somebody else did that. You might use it against me. That's fear. Do you get what I mean? And protecting yourself, there's no harm in protecting yourself. But when you're in a loving long-term marriage, you have to let those walls down. You
that's
can't
right.
keep on protecting yourself, because you
Yeah,
know what? Those walls that you have up to protect yourself is stopping that person from loving you,
that's
and it's
right.
stopping you
I
from
agree.
loving them. And it
Hmm.
works against you no matter what, because you're
Yeah,
not able to love them and they're not able to love you. That wall is there. And
yeah,
sometimes people, they feel proud about, yeah, I'm just like that, innit? I just got a wall up. I just protecting myself. But you can't, if you got a wall up, I can't penetrate that. I
yeah,
can't get through to you. You can't get through to me because we've got this wall between us.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
when I've looked at relationships and how people are operating, it's based in fear, and the thing is, I understand why people have that fear, because I've had that fear. There are
Mm,
challenges that I experience now that I am working through, and most of that is from childhood.
yeah.
That's from relationship. That's from an abusive relationship, where I now have to say, "Why are you thinking like that, Debbie?" Me and you had a conversation in the week, and I was saying, "Do you know what? I was gonna say this, but I chose to say the opposite
Yeah.
because I cannot and will not operate from a position of fear, because ultimately,
Hmm.
the person that you love is the person that you want to trust. And so if you don't
That's right.
trust them, you don't think that you're sending out a certain energy, but you do. You send out a certain energy that that person knows that you're not fully trusting them. And so
Mm,
with me, I'm having to continually look at myself, check myself, and reevaluate. And I think that what is good, like, me and Gary's been married for 5 years now, and that's still really quite young. We're still forging our marriage, and there are things that I wouldn't even consider in a million years that I would be doing, you know but I'm doing them because I love my husband. I want my marriage to work. I have to work through some of the challenges that I've experienced from the past. And you don't sometimes you don't know that they're there until you're in it. You know what I mean? And the good thing is that when you know that you're in it, and this is why me and Paul are doing this, for those of you who don't know, is that we've both been divorced. We're both married, and the challenges are real. Like, just because we do this, it doesn't mean we've got all things, you know, going
Perfect.
well.
Yeah.
We're doing it because we are on that journey along with other people. We haven't arrived. If you've arrived, you know, please tell us the destination. Tell us the destination. But we're doing it because it's a conversation that we're having, and through these conversations, we're able to dissect, we're able to look at ourselves, we're able to look at other relationships and help and support those relationships as well. It's not about arriving. The thing is, if I'm a little bit further gone than you on certain things, then I can show you in it. And if you're a little further along than me, then you can show me. And I think that that's what is important. That's what's fundamental with Gym Time, is because it is about relationships, and it is about us evolving and becoming better people within ourselves. So let me do you want to go ahead and read those comments?
Okay, so are we
it goes back to Cass.
Isn't it that? Did you read that one?
No, Cass spoke first. A small
Millicent. Yeah, a small and big lie are both the same. And that's the truth.
That was in relation to the question that I asked them to answer. Okay, go down.
Is that the next one? No, tell him no lie, both sides. That's Millicent said. Antonelle says, it doesn't matter if it is a big iron, small lie. It is a lie, and trust will be the tailgate.
Absolutely.
Very true. Let me just move this up. At Cassie, Millicent was saying, clapping her hands. Cassie says, come on now, to you, Debbie, with what you were saying. Well done, Debbie. Millicent says,
Sister girl.
Sister girl. And then again, Millicent laughed at destination. Faye just said, go on.
No, there was one before.
Oh, right. Did I miss that out? No, that's Faye's here, isn't it? This one.
Yeah.
No judgment here. There is only one judge in heaven above. However, we're all humans and can fabricate creative untruths innocently to get out of an awkward situation. What would you say to that?
So so one of the things that people do say, you know, I'm only human after all, you know, don't put the blame on me. But the thing is, you have to consciously lie. What, you don't like my singing?
Of course I do, Debbie.
Whatever.
Debbie, I do.
So you have to you have to, in it, right there. You have to, you said it not to hurt my feelings, in it. Whatever. So no, you have to consciously lie. Unless there's something wrong with you, you have to consciously lie. So for me, before I'm going to go and do something, like I said, it starts with the small things. If you can start to master the small things, you'll master the big things. When I say the small things, things at work, things out on the road, whatever. I remember one time, I can't remember what, this was when I was working for Waitrose, and I can't remember what happened, but I came back in and they was asking me something about what happened. Yeah. And I blatantly lied. And I was just like, that was not good, because I thought about it before and I said that I wasn't going to lie. But then when I got back, the person asked me something and I was just like, oh, I can't, especially the person that it was, I couldn't stand them. And I was just like, don't ask me nothing, innit? And like I just basically lied to them. And I thought to myself, why did you do that, Debbie? And you know what? I went back to them and I said to them, you know what I said to you the other day? I said that wasn't actually correct. I wasn't really in a good frame of mind and whatever. And I'm trying to remember, while I'm talking, I'm trying to remember what the thing is. And they was just like, oh no, it's all right. Don't worry about that. And I goes, no, no, no. It wasn't the way how I said it. It was like this. And I was like, no, no, it's okay. That's fine. But I felt the need to
Yeah.
go and correct it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
Yeah.
nothing major. But the reason why I did that was because I was thinking to myself, and you know, when something bothers you, I was bothered by it. I actually went home and I thought to myself, now on my way home, I was like, why did you do that? Just because it was
Yeah.
that person. I was just like, but no, don't allow that to be your
Mhm.
stance. And that's the thing. We are all human and we can
Yeah.
make mistakes, but are you going to correct that mistake? Are you going to say, do you know what? I'm not going to allow that thing to continue,
Mhm.
because we can make mistakes, but you have to consciously make a decision that you are going to lie. In your
It,
head,
it,
normally you're thinking about the scenario and that, like, before you actually say it. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? Or when I
I
go
I
home, I'm going
I,
to say
I
this. You
remember.
remember when you were young and you'll be like, you know, you're coming in late and he's like, oh, I'm just going to say that I
Yeah.
was with my friend from school and she lost her bus pass, and then we had to go and look for the bus pass, and then we couldn't find the bus pass, and so we had to walk. Yeah, I didn't want her to walk by herself, so I had to walk with her, and that's what made me late.
Yeah.
You're there,
Cre-
you're there
creative
conjuring up the whole lie.
creative untruths, like what Faye said.
Creative.
Yeah.
That is a
See,
creative
see,
untruth.
see you know what, Debbie? It's funny you saying that because I remember, man, I was so creative. Jam lie. That's really what I'm gonna
Jam,
call
that's
it.
what mummy would say, innit? Jam
Jam lie.
lie.
Yeah. These are to say you lie. You jam lie. Not damn. Jam. Jam lie. Yeah. What it was is at work. I remember doing a creative lie, and I'm not gonna. Well, time is against us for me to
Yeah.
break it down to the story. Anyway, when they challenged me on the lie, I said to them, "Yeah, see me you," because I found that they were checking with other people. You know, it was a flight thing. Yeah, I was out of the country and I'd done the dates wrong, and oh no, I was supposed to be at work that like the day. So I found I was leaving, like I was supposed to be at work on the Wednesday, and I was flying back like the Friday. So I had to find a creative lie for me. So they checked it out with the airways to see if what I said was true. However,
That's deep.
they checked a whole different country because someone gave the wrong information and said,
That's
"Oh, he's in
deep.
this country." So it was like, yeah, it was deep. It was deep. Oh man, no,
They was
no,
after you.
yeah, no, they were after me because listen. Anyway, that's a whole different story for itself. However, what they did then, when I got back, the person from the airline, it was in Victoria, came to me and told me, they came down here and they was checking on you to see if this and that. I said, did they? The managers ain't even in yet. Yeah.
Wow.
This guy, funny enough, he looked so racist and his tattoos and everything, but he helped me. The fact that he told me that, I then was prepared for them. So
You just
I
so
was in St.
stereotype
Vincent,
someone just there. But go on.
you know. It, well, matter of fact, I was told this anyway by someone who knows him. But hey, the fact that he spoke to me, yeah, I saw it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, whereas I was prepared, and they called me into the office, and they said, we don't believe that you were delayed in St. Lucia. We checked, there wasn't a demonstration there. See how deep I went, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe you're lying, so we're gonna have to deal with this matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, is that right? Because they said St. Lucia, the creativity came out in me now. The lied. I said
Lie upon top of lie.
it was a lie on top of lie. Watch, you saw me. So when they said to me they're gonna, basically it was gonna be a disciplinary, and they could have sacked
Mm-hmm.
me as well.
Yeah.
I said, you was checking on me. You went and checked behind my back. I work here, and you're supposed to trust me, yeah. And you're gonna go and do that. I said, I tell you what. First thing is that I was never in St. Lucia. I was in St. Vincent. So you can go and check that. And while you're checking that, I'm going to seek legal advice. Yeah. And I'm going to get you guys for, I think I probably said defamation of character, whatever it was that I said. Yeah. Listen, unless they're watching this now, well, I don't work for you anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, nobody went and checked because I thought, Buckside, they're gonna catch me out. And there was a side of me that said, no, challenge them, give it to them because they got it wrong. They never did check. And it was later on where this is where it changed me. I said that to say this. I used to be late all the time. Like even after that, I was just late, turn up late. And I was creative. Well, this guy, Danny, came in one day and I think he took the cup away from me. You know, the medals and everything. He won the belt, everything. He had said that he was moving a wardrobe at home and it fell down on him. Yeah. And it just so happened to be like 2 or 3 days before he was going to be on holiday for 2 weeks. Yeah. And I just clapped because, hey, you know what? I would never have thought of anything like that. And that changed me. Let me tell you something. Anytime I was late and I came in and they said, what happened? Or they rang me. I said to them, I woke up late. I was out yesterday and I set my alarm and I slept through my alarm and I'm sorry. I started work at like 7:30. I was supposed to be in. I remember getting to work at 11:30. Yeah,
wow.
11:30. But I can't leave and not wash my skin. So I washed my skin and by the time I got to work, it was that time. Listen, but I never lied. From Danny Day onwards, I never lied. You know, if the moment they asked me, I told them the truth. Even in a particular relationship, someone asked me, you know, blah 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 blah, and I said, there was that fear in me now to say, yes, it was that. But I just told it. I said, you know what, I was gonna lie, but it is like that. It was like that.
I wanted to say both Millicent and Faye said how you flipped the script, and they was just basically laughing at what you was saying, your thing, and Cass has just given you claps, and I guess that is for telling the truth. But I just wanted to just throw this one in there just quickly. So when a woman says, "Do I look big in this?" What does a man mean? What is a man meant to say? Does my bum look big in this?
See, there is a way how you can word that, you know, and depending on the type of relationship that you have as well, you know, because
you say, yes, your body look big, you look nice, you look round.
Right. You see, there you go.
That's how you just change it up.
You see, the way how, for me, yeah, if it is the case that it looks a bit, I'd say, baby, right there. Yeah, that word does be, or I like that one, you know. Yeah, but it hugs you a bit too much, you know. I think you should like probably wear that one, or you know. So you're saying it looks big in this, and I say, yeah, it does, but not like that. You see what you see the expression, not like, yeah, your body look fat in it. Yeah, no, don't wear that. Don't wear that. Don't wear that, because that's kind of controlling like that. But there are ways how you can tell the truth without hurting someone's feeling at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, if a man asked you though, am I ugly?
I'll say you got nice eyes. Do you know why I say that? Yeah, because there was this baby, and all of my friends kept on saying how the baby's ugly, yeah, but it was only because the baby had a really big head, but the baby had the most beautiful eyes and mouth, yeah. So my friends was just like, oh, have you seen so and so's baby? The baby's ugly, man. The baby's got a big head. The baby did have a big head, but the baby had the most beautiful eyes, most beautiful smile. And I was a teenager at that time. I was about 18. And I thought to myself, there's always an attribute on somebody that you can compliment. And I was a teenager because I thought it was mean that they were saying that the child's head was big. The child's head was big. That was the truth. But but what you was looking at was just a big head. You wasn't looking at the child's nice eyes
You're looking at the big.
and the
You're
baby.
not
It
matching
wasn't.
everything.
You wasn't. The baby's eyes were so bright. The smile was so beautiful that I was focusing on the good attributes. And I think that if somebody wants to not, hurt somebody, and I think that you should be a bit more mature than that anyway, like, to be hurt. If you ask someone a question,
Yeah.
they can say it in a polite
And they
way.
tell you the truth.
But also,
Yeah.
if they tell you the truth and the truth is the truth, I was talking to someone the other day and I said to them, you're upset because of that person speaking the truth. And then they said, and they said, do you know what, Debbie, when you've broken it down like that, yeah, you're right. I did get my back up because what they were saying was true, but I just didn't like the fact that they was telling me that. And I said, well, sometimes we just need to put on our big girl pants and swallow it and do something about it. Do something about that thing that feels like a bit of a thorn in your side when somebody brings it up, because it's a pressure point. Do you get what I mean? It's a trigger for you.
Yeah. So can I ask you something? So why is it that when I was growing up, you and Michael talking about my eyes and my rubber lips and my big nose and everything about, and my ears, my little titchy ears?
Are you really going to go there? As my big brother who used to
I'm
run me
still
all the time. Are you really going to go there?
No, do you know what?
My
It's a good,
big brother
it's
who
a
used
good
to
example.
run me all the time gave me a proper complex
Stop it.
about who I was. Are you really going to go there?
No,
Like,
you know
guys,
what?
I'm going to
tell you something, Debbie. I'm going to tell you
and
something.
I had the most biggest bottom as a little child, and these used to give me a big complex, and I dare not tell you what they used to say to me, but they used to shout me out. Who the kids in the neighborhood used to call me the same thing as well, because I had the biggest bottom as a little child.
Oh. Do you know what, Debbie?
I said,
in a way, I'm glad that you and Michael. It took years. It took years for me to deal with that, but it was a good thing that happened to me, because I was able to look at all the attributes, and know that my eyes are set right for this face. My nose is set right for this face. My lips are set right for this face. My ear, and it literally built confidence in me. Though growing up, I had those insecurities. I was able to look in the mirror and I said, "You got a nice smile," and your eyes, you have big, beautiful eyes, etc., etc. And I told myself this, So anybody out there who's listening or knows somebody, the greatest thing you can ever do is look at the wonderful things about yourself. That doesn't make any difference what anybody else says. Listen, I've been called some stuff along the years by certain women that they weren't that fine themselves. I've had finer, but that's your business. That's in my eyes. I look at you, you look at me. You can say what you want, but I'm confident about myself, and so I'm glad that I went through that at a young age. I threw it out as a joke and everything else, but on a serious note, it actually helped me to appreciate me and appreciate my attributes, and the thing is how I've been created.
When you're growing up, like people used to say that about me. My nose was big, my lips were big, and I remember one time me coming home from mummy, and I laugh about it, coming home to mummy and telling her, I laugh about it hear me nose. I laugh about it now.
No.
I laugh about it now because I remember coming home and saying, Mum, the kids are saying how my nose is big and my lips are big and everything like that, and she didn't say to me, they're not. She said, don't worry, your face will grow into it. She said, don't worry, your face will grow into it. And the thing is, what she was saying was that your nose was big and your lips are big, but don't worry.
Basically,
it will soon all match up. It will be good in the old by and by. So that was her way of telling me it is big. But the thing is, that helped me. I was just like, oh, okay. When I get older, it will look better. I didn't even question. I didn't even think, why did she say that? I just took it. I was just like, that was okay.
And you still see people with some people got big lips, rubber lips, as they would say, or they got big saucer eyes like mine that look like they're falling out. Bernie Mac is one as well. But you see, when you're confident about yourself, none of those things matter anymore. Do you know what I mean? People say these things and you might laugh. I remember laughing it off, and I would be like, they say about my eyes, and I say, yeah, they look like it's falling out, and it look, you know, and switch the joke because so what?
How did
Because
we
for
get
everyone
here?
that said about my eyes,
How
I
did
had
we
someone
get
else.
here?
Yeah.
We just totally gone off
No,
subject.
we're not gone off. We're not gone off.
No, we haven't technically gone off
Yeah.
because we're talking about lies and
Yeah.
saying stuff and not saying stuff and whatever. But we did kind of like went off on a bit of a tangent.
But it
So
all
we're
comes.
gonna be winding up.
Yeah. But we
Yeah,
do need to wind up
absolutely.
anyway. Yeah.
Absolutely. So so let me just put up these last bits on here because I could see messages coming in, but I wasn't paying them much attention. Oh, Debbie, you're funny. Love you, girl. Love you too, Faye. Let me try and who was laughing there? Somebody was laughing at
Millicent.
her. Oh, Millie. Yeah, cousin
Yeah.
Millie. Mel. It's not even Millie. Can't even get used to saying that. And then Faye's like, Paul's better half. What was that about? Ho is Paul's better
what
half.
I was saying about the compliments and bum and stuff like that, you know.
Oh, right. And then Cass said, "Amen, Debs." Great example, Debbie. Look past the deficiency and find the positive. I think that's when I was talking about the young child. True, Debs. True words, Debs. There's always a positive. Absolutely. Cass is there laughing. Where's you laughing at, Cass? Oh, Millicent said about the nose joke. Cass says I'll be going to bed. All laughed out.
Good.
So yeah, I think that I'll put up my AKA also. Yeah, because I when I say Millicent, it's a bit weird for me, but it is what it is, so that people can see who's actually talking. Because if I was to say Mel, they'd be like, "Who's that?" Yeah, we all got AKAs here. Go on.
I think the bottom line is tell the truth.
Absolutely. Start with the small, innit? Start with that work or whatever. Start there, because it will definitely have a knock-on effect. Just as much. Sorry, Paul, I just interjected, didn't I? Just as much as if you're telling a lie, it's going to spill over into every other aspect of your relationship if you do it at work.
And if you're still living in fear and you're not truthful, work on it. Take these little steps now, that you listen.
Especially if you're not in a relationship.
Who's for you is for you.
Yeah.
And if there's nobody that doesn't have issues themselves.
Yes.
Whether or not they're speaking about it or not. We all have something that we have to deal with and overcome. So at the end of the day, yours might be lying and someone else might be teething. Lie and teeth in a mix. But they work together well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But you know what, Paul? How about someone saying, "Do you know what? I thought about this and I wasn't gonna be truthful about that.
There you go.
But I want to be honest and I want to be truthful." How about doing that? Because then that person can only but respect you for being open, being honest, being truthful.
That's
That
right.
you go to them and say, "You know what, this is quite difficult and quite challenging for me. And I was going to say something or not say something in order to make you see things differently. But I'm learning to be transparent and open and honest with you and deal with that fear that I have in terms of whatever that is, because it could be the insecurity, it could be the rejection, it could be any of those things that you're struggling with that is causing you not to be truthful, and it feels okay. It feels okay not to be truthful because you're justifying it because, oh, I was wounded, or someone said that to me before, or whatever thing you're telling yourself that is making you think that you are justified in doing that is also a lie. You're not justified in doing it. But I think it's good when you can say to somebody, "I was going to lie about that because this is how you made me feel the last time I told that truth. you know, because if you tell somebody the truth and then they bark at you or they tear you down or whatever, the first thing to do is like, I'm not even going to bother to be honest with them again. Don't allow that to happen. Don't allow that to happen, because they're not, that's changing your character. That's changing the person who you should be. And if that person can't see the value in who you are, you will have to start to question, you know, who is this person? Why is this person dealing with me and handling me in that way when I'm trying to be open and honest with them? So those are my final words.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So listen, those that are dashing off,
yes, we're going now anyway, guys. Thanks for hanging with us.
Thank you very much for hanging with us, definitely. And again, we hopefully we'll see you next week, God be willing, on Gym Time. Get your motivation.
Absolutely. So, final words. Was that your final words?
My final word, you chopped into it. So my final word is in agreement with you. Yeah, my final word is still in agreement with you, that, you know, honesty, you know, and work on yourself. You know, you might still be in some kind of fair place, past issues. Daily work on yourself, daily move forward, and eventually you'll reach to a good destination, a better destination. Let's say it like that, a better destination, which will enrich your relationship. You know,
absolutely.
We're all moving. It should be moving forward. If you're stagnant and you're staying in the same place and you're doing the same thing, you're going to get the same result. So that's my final word.
Well done. Thumbs up.
Well done to you as well. Yes.
And well done with the light today, because you know you're all nice and bright as well.
Yes.
No lagging today. So proud of you. Everything's gone all right today.
Listen, I don't even know. Don't know why, but praise God, it worked.
Brilliant.
You know. All right.
Well done. Right. Bye, guys. We're out of here.
See you guys later.
Take it easy. Till next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.